Hello again, Keepers of Light, and I call you that because you are just that. Keepers of Light. I just recorded an oracle card reading, and I was thinking about the many ways in which I am seeking to stretch myself these days, and channeling is one of them. But it's not like an effort for me to channel. So this is when I this is something that I've been encoded with from birth to show up in this way and to be able to channel information in this way, to channel light codes in the way that I'm doing now, and to work together with you, keepers of light. So if you find yourself resonating with these words and the words that I speak, it is not by coincidence. It is not by chance. It is because we are here working together, weaving into reality that which is unfolding. And it is not just unfolding outwardly, but is unfolding through us, you know? And it's been a shift for me to go from believing myself to be limited in that way that would keep me from assuming this knowing that I've always had about the purpose that I was here to fulfill. And in many ways, you're likely going through the same process now, which is why you are drawn to these words, likely. So I just wanted you to know that I'm just like everyone else in that sense, that I I have, you know, the type of human life anyone else has. I have kids, I have a husband, I have troubles, I have issues, I have things that come up. I have, but the I guess the message here is really just about alignment. And it's about coming back into remembrance and how we're working together to create a coherence. One of the things that I do is really demystify and actually collapse the resistance that you would have to change by activating those aspects within yourself, because the way in which my frequency is programmed, it's programmed to activate you. So what you're going to find is that there are moments where you're going to find that yourself finding calm, finding that you're able to make sense of things, and finding that you're able to move, because the idea really is that we're creating coherence so that we can move and expand outward, so that we are now weaving into reality the new structures of society that are seeking to be born. And see, the thing is I don't want to overwhelm you because this is not it's not a task that was ever meant for one person alone. It was to fulfill. It was meant for us to fulfill as a collective, because it is an unfolding which is the result of the collective upgrade. So you come into your own connection to your source, to uh, your higher your higher conscious beingness. That's that's the key. You guys may not know it, but all of your higher beings have come forward, and they come forward into this portal, and they participate in that way that you can find in that way that you have found resonance to these words. So there's like a secondary level to what's occurring here, and it's an ethereal realm. And in that way, you all are participating, whether or not you make a comment or not. I can feel your energy there. And maybe some of you haven't quite, solidified your understanding of yourself as being a keeper of light, but that is unnecessary. It only just means that it is an unfolding journey for you, and that it is one of expansion. So Uh, you know, I just did an oracle card reading. Did I say that already? I did the reading, and I may wind up listening to it again myself because there are moments when I come on here and I'm so deep into just being in the channeled state that I don't necessarily always remember what it is that I've said. So I mean I kind of do, but then not really, like not sharply. But then I was just thinking about how the readings themselves are kind of helping me to learn how to pivot and learn how to move in a direction. How Okay, so doing the readings, what it's been doing is it's been helping me to learn how to allow the next card that I draw to show me what that next sign is going to be for me to move into. So this whole thing here it's about overwhelm. And I said the word overwhelm earlier, but it's because I think that's what the collective is really kind of looking to address, these aspects of beingness that will have us feel as though we're stuck because we're overwhelmed by our own energetic system, kind of like overloading. Because number one, if you are a keeper of light, you really will kind of be taking on too much weight on yourself, instinctively taking on weight, by your weight that you have incarnated to take on, but not to take on from that point where you're identifying as you being the weight, like you being the one who was supposed to carry it yourself, which is why one of the messages is about how we're doing this together. So this whole message here, yay, I'm finally getting the whole the whole reason why I'm on here right now. It's about underwhelming. It's about looking at overwhelm and those aspects where you feel overwhelmed, and then breaking it down so that it actually becomes livable for you to fulfill what you are connecting to in terms of what your spirit and what your soul is aspiring towards. Aha. Oh god. All right, why did I do that? Okay, so so what is overwhelm? Overwhelm is when you are putting too much weight on yourself. And which is why one of the reasons why I talked about ancestral healing. I talked about it because as a light keeper, what happens is you incarnate with this contract to help your family line, your bloodline, and you help by transmuting the patterns of karmic interrelation that is now seeking to change, is now seeking to evolve into a higher level of experience for yourself and for future generations. So the thing of it is, like, just because you came in here with that as like one of the tasks, what happens is you feel the weight of that throughout your lifetime, and you will likely just be, it'll show up like in the 3D in terms of your relationships with your family members being likely not easy, not easy. And there's likely going to be your awareness about all the ways in which dysfunction, that there is non-functionality, that there is no functioning way in which the result equals that now there is a cohesion within the members of the family group. So that's one aspect where you're overwhelming yourself because now you have that already like built within your system. So that's why I kind of mentioned this, like I don't know how many sessions ago, but I did mention ancestral healing, not so that it is something that you, not to push you into doing it, but more so to become aware that there is this aspect of you that might be just playing that role, that might just feel as though you are responsible for that. But whether you choose to engage in that or not is kind of irrelevant. Um, what is relevant is your awareness that this could be one of the components that are kind of keeping you feeling as though you are somehow responsible for the actions of those who are um, who are your family members, and that you may be feeling as though you are the one who's bearing the weight the of the dysfunctionality within that realm of that realm of relationships. And some other ways in which you could be overwhelming yourself is that, if you're looking out in the world and you're seeing that there are things that you have no control over, in that way that they're not happening to you, like you're seeing things happening to other people. We're witnessing suffering. And I'm not saying that you're not experiencing suffering yourself, but I'm just saying one other aspect could be that now what you're witnessing in terms of the world, because um, you would be an empath, as a light keeper, and being an empath really just kind of means that you are able to tune into the needs of the collective in that way, that you can see the dissonance that is within the ways in which we are now causing one another to experience misalignment, and that we ourselves are misaligning to the greater good of all. So that's the other part to it. And then another part to it is that you could put pressure on yourself in terms of feeling as though like you should be having answers. And this is kind of like how I was kind of relating to my oracle card reading, was really how when flip the next card, one card there shows me where we're at, like, and then the next card will kind of reveal more and more of the story. This is kind of how like life itself unfolds in the first place. We have been misled into believing that we should know things beforehand, how they should evolve, how they should turn out, or what their end result should be. But we as keepers of light are coming into remembrance that that is not our job. That is not our work. Our work is to align into the resonance field. This field is one. If you are in here, there is resonance, and resonance is what drew you to and draws you to these words. And in that way, you are aligning to your soul's you're aligning to your soul's desires in terms of experience of the moment at hand, being here. So okay, so where am I going with this? Overwhelm. Okay, so one of the things I've been kind of harping about is about functionality. Like, I don't want to just come here and just share like spiritual ideas and then leave you like, okay, that's great, and like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like this, um it's pie in the sky, whatever, this big ideal that we're reaching towards, but then there's no steps to take, and that was how the reading kind of unfolded. I don't quite remember all the details, but it was really just kind of about that. But I think I'm just going to take that concept and move with what this moment is unfolding as a message to that. And that is, you know, it's the first time that I actually called in the Galactic Council, my Galactic Council, because they're kind of like behind me. Um, anyway, and the reason, okay, okay, take a deep breath. So you come to these words to remember. But one of the things you come to remember is that you are supported. And one of the things that you come to not just remember it, but that to experience is that you're being supported. Because the words themselves are here to be in support of your greater good, to be in support of your higher self, being one of the aspects that is now communicating to you. It's not just me, it's your higher self, because we are in the etheric realm working together. When I say I come to the portal every day, it's because we actually meet on the astral plane, and in that way I can then kind of converse with your higher beings, and then come here and say, oh, okay, this is what we discussed. This is what we talked about. And we talked about the topic of overwhelm. See, the thing is these words are also, from what they're saying now. they're activators. So what they're saying to me to tell you is that by listening, you activate yourself. That it was that you designed it so that you would hear it in this way, so that it would be more so less overwhelming to you to receive these type of maybe I don't look so intimidating or crazy or what or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be. I'm the vessel through which you're hearing these words, and these words are not just coming through me, they're coming from aspects of yourself, is what I'm saying here. And those aspects of yourself that are coming to you in this calming way, in this way of being able to receive information that is um, vital to you in that way that now you've been asking for answers. And that's why I feel so, that's why you see me all smiling all the time, because I'm like, you know what, guys? And the thing is, yeah. Anyway, okay. So 16 minutes. All right, I'm going to say a few more things and then I'm going to get off. But I'm here to kind of talk about how you practically can stop overwhelming yourself. And you can stop overwhelming yourself by reframing your identity, which is one of the things that I kept, like, for a whole year I felt like I kept talking about the same topic of identity. Even the readings that I was doing was all the same, but it's because um it's because we were weaving together how this message was going to come through in that way that you'll be able to, when you come in the physical, to receive them, so that we can so that you can activate yourself to remember that it is possible for you to walk in this way that I've been saying, that we've been saying together, that we are here to walk this earth in more empowered states than we have been. We are learning how to do it by and via embodiment. We are learning how to do environment embodiment. We are learning how to look at our energetic systems and to look at ourselves and our ways of operation as a way in which it can be that can be movable, that can be adjusted, that can be recalibrated, and that can be changed, and that can be upgraded. And that is what you're up to. And I just thought about the word thoughts, but that's because in the reading that came up, and it was like about how, like, when you're looking at our energetic system, which is why I bring these topics up over and over again, because they're all about practicality. They're all about, like, how do I take what I know deep down inside is what I came here for. Like, it's the same journey that I've traveled, where I've kind of felt I've known this calling that is in me, like this mission calling that is in me. It is the light keeper's call, that you have within you a sense of knowingness that you're supposed to walk in to embody a role of beingness that will help to calibrate into existence that which is needed at this particular period of time. And so here we are working together for that same purpose. And I I thank you for allowing me to be the vessel through which you will receive those level of upgrades that you are looking to activate within yourself. And see, it's hard to say because, sometimes I don't, this whole portal is really about self empowerment. It's about bringing yourselves back into that sense of power, empowerment that you are designed to exist from, so that you can contribute in the highest capacity that you can. And so experience yourself in that way, that you are walking this earth as a person who is aligned, not just with your body, but aligned with your soul, aligned with your mental field, and using all of these elements of your being, of the beingness of consciousness to create, and therefore to assume a position of power that you that we that is not that was what they what society as a whole has had hidden to them. So I don't know if I said that really well, but I think you understand. So we're here just talking about, we don't have to overwhelm ourselves anymore. We don't have to know what the next step is going to be, because life itself is going to reveal what that is. Life itself is calibrating to you to give you and provide you answers. Life itself has always been doing that. But if you're not necessarily embodied in that way to receive that information, you're not going to be able to receive it in that way that now you're acquiring it as necessary information for your next unfolding. But what's happening is this lucid level of awareness, lucid level of living that you are embodying, so that you can begin to bring in newness, and not just newness, but newness from your unique perspectives, because that is what is necessary. My perspective alone is mine, but it's just part of the picture. Yours is what fills in the rest to make it whole. So you don't have to feel as though this anything that you're up to is just all on you. You know, you don't have to feel as though like what you came here to address in terms of, let's say, for example, the ancestral healing, that is all up to you. It's not, because how when you improve yourself, what happens is the healing itself happens on its own when you address the issues within yourself. Because once you become the embodiment and the upgraded version of the versions of reality that was sought beforehand to be experienced from those who have come beforehand, in your bloodline, from your bloodline, once you have embodied the newness that is now unfolding because of you now separating yourself from identifying as a being that is limited because of the mind's perceptions being in repetitive mode, what you're now allowing to be the guidance system to which you are operating. Once you have allowed yourself to connect to your higher sense of being, your higher sense of purpose, your higher sense of self, so that you're walking this life as though you are the creator, merging with creation, then then you will see that all of that will evaporate. The realities that were once holding us and keeping us imprisoned in repetition of they all evaporate. And this is because you become a calibrated version of the highest version of yourself, and therefore you yourself then recalibrate the those who are walking beside you, on this earth field. You become the recalibration that they're needing, and that in order to recalibrate themselves, it all just kind of like becomes a ripple effect. And and then it also is really just about how we are as keepers of light, bringing forward new timelines of experience, collapsing old timelines. And this is kind of just the basics to what is unfolding. And I'm here to, I'm here to express everything, because 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 this is how we walk together, on this path. This is how we are embodying the change that is becoming the new reality that we are existing in. So I will leave the message here. And until next time, keepers of light.